Hi everyone, thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be here with you to share about how I'm using Dagger and to learn from each other. Actually, this presentation will be made of two parts. The first part is about the use case itself. I will introduce you to the context and how I'm transitioning progressively all my CI tasks to Dagger and why. And the second part is about an issue I faced in this specific use case. And spoiler alert, the issue is still ongoing, but we dig together into it, and I will explain what is happening. Let's get started. So about the use case, I wanted to introduce you to a project I'm working on as a side project. It's actually a GitHub repository that allows to bootstrap a whole platform, a whole cloud-native platform in minutes. It has been evaluated to 30 minutes to have everything up and running. And basically, the idea is to have everything controlled by a Kubernetes control plane. And I did a few opinionated choices in order to have a complete platform. As you can, I won't mention every components because it is not the topics actually. But I'm using Crossplane and Flux as the core components to control everything. And as you can see here in the picture, I chose to run Vault, an instance outside of Kubernetes, and because it has specific concerns in terms of security and in general, you have to. It is a component that has to be there every time. So I decided to build it outside of Kubernetes. And yes, the third component, really important here, and it's about this topic, is stage scale. I'm using it as a VPN in order to access to the cloud through a secure wire. So let's get to the point. Recently, I started to study Dagger, but previously I was using a Makefile because I was used to in my experiences, my previous experiences, and actually it did the job for years, but then I used a new tool named Taskfile, so I used it for many months. It is simpler to write, to read and write, and it has other features such as dependencies and parallel executions. But then recently I'm transitioning everything to Dagger for many reasons that you are all aware of. But I have a specific use case. I wanted to go deeper, but the main reasons was to have something that can be shareable, to share modules, to have something container native, and to really build advanced tasks. The first thing I did is to reproduce everything that I was using into Dagger modules. So I built two modules. The first one is about validating Terraform configurations. It is a pretty simple one. I just use a project from the community named Pre-commit Terraform, and it does many things. It validates the security, the linting, the formatting, and many things around Terraform. And the second one is about using kubeconfirm. And kubeconfirm is a widely used tool in order to validate Kubernetes manifests. But I needed something else, some features, additional features, such as using Flux substitution. I won't dig into the details, but I had bash scripts on top of kubeconfirm in order to validate Flux configurations and to convert Kubernetes custom resources into open JSON schema. So everything is handled by the module now, and it's pretty simple to use. But you may ask yourself why I use the Dagger, but why I introduce a new tool it was actually working with task 5, sorry, but I wanted to dig deeper, to dig further, and I had the target to have something that I've been able to build everything from scratch automatically and to destroy it, because any time I want to change something to this repository, I need to validate the change, and it is really hard to keep the pace of all these components that are updating many times per week. So I need something that is automated to build all the infrastructure and to destroy it. And previously, I needed to do many tasks, manual tasks, and so the target, the ultimate target, will be at the end having a CI pipeline that run tests after the infrastructure and the components have been deployed, and run many tests on each component. This is the target. Oops. So currently, if I roll back a few, what I did before Dagger is I had to create the network manually, to run a Terraform command, to create the Vault instance, to initialize the Vault instance, to wait for it to be running, retrieve the token, configure the PKI, because Vault is used as a private key infrastructure, generate all the configuration for Vault, and finally bootstrap the cluster and everything under the cluster. So I had to run around 30 manual operations, and this is really error-prone and really time-consuming. And the reason why I can't have a platform up and running all the time is because it is a side project, and I can't afford to have something running on the cloud every time. So now I achieved to have a single command that takes secrets as arguments, and deploy an infrastructure based on a GitHub branch. And at the end, I get something like that. As I said, it takes around 30 minutes, and then you have a cluster up running with many components, the monitoring components, Prometheus, the networking components, the Dagger engine, GitHub Service engine, many things that are controlled by Flux. But the issue, and I'm going to explain you, to introduce to the issue. As I said, I have a Vault instance deployed in an EC2 instance. So, and the idea to configure everything is to be able to use this Vault as a PKI and to generate certificates. So I have a gateway configured, a private gateway. This private gateway needs a certificate to expose the tools, and these certificates are issued from cluster issuer, okay, from a Vault cluster issuer, and the Vault cluster issuer is actually reachable from a private IP, and is able to generate certificates for the private, for let's say the Grafana interface, which is only reachable from a private IP. Okay. And at the end, it uses the private PKI that I configured automatically with the single command that you've seen previously. But let's talk about the issue. in order to be able to have this and to run Dagger and to automate everything, I need some tailscale to reach the private network and private components. We've seen in the demo that I've reached the Vault server in the private IP and something running in the Kubernetes cluster. So the target will be ideally to have this thing running the same way in my laptop and the CI platform. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. The tailscale is used as a VPN, as I said, and it uses under the hood something called split DNS. I will explain what it is. And it runs with a specific configuration, because in a container environment, it has to be run as in user space mode, and it has some limitation to run in user space mode. And so I can't do what I want in the CI and running it in the CI. Actually, the split DNS is a way to tell for a given domain name to use a given server, DNS server. So we can say, maybe I can show you, that would be self-explanatory. Here we can say that for this domain, I will use this name server, which is only private in AWS side. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. This specific use case using split DNS doesn't work with tailscale. So I wanted to highlight something really important, because Marcos, which I think he was here, I think in the chat, helped me a lot on diagnosticating this issue. We talked. He did a lot of tests on his side, and we've been able to identify precisely what's going on. And thank you. I can go to a demo to show you how it works, but I don't know if I have any time. A few minutes.
Yeah, go for it. We love demos.
Let's go. So I forgot to mention that in order to be able to work, I need to run a tailscale instance in my laptop. This is the only way I was able to run everything automatically. So I have a specific tailscale running here that allows me to route the traffic through the until the AWS platform. But I needed something else, and it's really ugly, so sorry. I needed to do something like that, and I don't know if there is another way to do that, because even though the split DNS we use, I have to tell to the container that it has to use a specific name server. This is the only way I currently using that. But let's say that I will use I will remove all these workarounds. Okay.
They're asking if you can zoom in a little bit more, if possible. Thank you.
Okay. I'll stop tailscale. Stop tailscale. And I'll restart Docker. Okay. Great. Then I can run the terminal within the Vault container to see what is happening exactly. So as you can see, I'm building a service, a tailscale service that runs tailscale in user space mode. I can show you maybe the command line, which is here. So you have to run tailscale with these parameters, and then Where is the result? I will run. Sorry, I forgot to save. I think. Yes. Mistake. Okay, so I will just run the vault function. Let's go. So here, this is the ultimate target, having everything running in the CI platform. You won't be able to run Tailscale in the mode that I have in my laptop. I think it is running in containers, so in user space mode. And we have a terminal. Terminal will open in a few seconds. Okay. This stuck. If we have a look to the Tailscale devices, I should have. No, it is not running. I can show you here. I can show you here. I have devices. These are ephemeral devices, and actually it didn't work. Okay, this is the emo effect because it worked. I should have another device Tailscale here. I don't know why it doesn't work. Maybe I forgot something. Anyway, to sum up, when I run in this mode, I can join the private IP using the IP, but I'm not able to resolve the DNS names. I'm not able to reach the private resolver. Take a look at. I'm not able to reach the private resolver, and I'm not able to get the DNS. But everything else is working in a network point of view, I would say. Okay, I will end here. You can have a look to my project here, and I'm open to any contribution, and we can work together in order to add more features. I'm writing blog posts around all the exploration that I do here, and the latest one is about Dagger, actually. And you can reach out to me using this handle. And thank you all. If you have any question, I can go back.